Oh hey, welcome back to my channel. Did you show up here today for a book review? Well, we're gonna be talking about Styxx today. Okay y'all, so we're gonna get into this book review about Styxx. Y'all, that book was crazy. Let me first by rating it. The book I would give a 3 out of 5. And the main reason I would give Styxx a 3 out of 5 is because there was a lot of abuse in the book, like physical, sexual, mental, and emotional abuse. And I know that can be kind of tricky when it comes to reading for some people, because a lot of things can trigger you. Like, you know, people have triggers, and that's just, Styxx is just one of those books I just feel like you got to be careful if there are things that do trigger you when you're reading that book. So 3 out of 5. Other than that, the romantic story was amazing. The storytelling was amazing. I always loved Sherrilyn Kenyon's form of writing style. I've loved it since I was like 14, reading her first book, which was Fantasy Lover, about Aphrodite's son. So a little bit about the book. So Styxx is the twin brother to Artron, and basically he's a prince, and he is the second born. Artron is the firstborn. I always thought that Artron was the second born and that Styxx was the firstborn, because, you know, back then the firstborn son takes over the kingdom. Artron was immediately, from his silver iridescent eyes, people could tell, hey, that's not the king's son. Boom. The king was upset, so he abused Artron and sold him to his brother. But you think, you know, Styxx must have had a good life because he was a prince, you know what I mean? Y'all, but no, he did not. This man was abused, sexually abused, all of the works. So Styxx, his personality in the book is more of a, it's like the perfect, for me, the perfect guy. Like, he's humble, he's caring, he puts others before himself, like just a really, really all around nice guy. And that's so shocking because in Artron's story, he comes off as arrogant or just evil, malicious, just ruthless, but you get to see why. Styxx was not loved in any form or fashion. Artron was Apollonie's son, and if you read Sherrilyn Kenyon's book Artron, you'll get some context, or you can just like look it up to get some context on Google. But if it wasn't for Artron, Styxx would have had a really good life. Styxx's mom didn't love him because she just assumed, well, if my firstborn son is not mine, then my secondborn son can't be mine either. And so that caused her to abuse him, y'all. She tried to kill this little boy when he was 5 years old. Like, she really tried to kill this little boy. And his father was battling, Styxx's father, the king, was battling within himself, like, do I love, you know, my son, or should I love him? Is he mine? Is he not mine? You know, things like that. And because of that uncertainty, that caused a lot of pain and just torture. So basically, Styxx grew up with getting beat, treated basically like a peasant. His sister, Riza, however you pronounce her name, we're gonna call her Little Miss R. But Little Miss R, like, thought he was arrogant, stuck up, spoiled, you know, all of those things, because Artron was raised in the house with Styxx up until he was about 5 or 6 years old, before he was sold or given to the king's uncle, y'all. And the king's uncle, yo, if I see him on the streets, I'm telling you, we boxing, because that man was sick. But anyways, that's the point. So sister didn't love him, mom didn't love him, dad didn't know if he should love him, so he was beat, y'all. He was beat. He wasn't allowed to do all the things that kids were allowed to do. He didn't have the luxuries that princes have. Like, he basically had to blood, sweat, and tears through it all, thug it out, basically. And you know, he was getting beat, starved, all of that good stuff, but he loved his brother. He loved Artron. And that was another surprise in the book for me. In Artron's book, you never, I don't want to say you never, but you would never guess that Styxx was the one bringing him food, and that Styxx was the one who was taking care of Artron when he was getting beat and he was in the shackles in the fucking basement and stuff like that. So he had a really good bond with his brother, and that's his life force is attached to his. So I mean, I don't know why I didn't read in the first one, I wouldn't think that. But another huge thing was, y'all, Artron was born with powers, right? Styxx was supposed to be born with powers too, but because he was put into the stomach of with Styxx, Artron kind of like absorbed his powers. So Styxx was supposed to be great. So not only did Artron unintentionally take all of the love away from him that he was supposed to receive, not that he received it too, but just took it away from him, cast doubt into everybody's mind. But he also took his powers. So the only thing that Styxx was left with was being able to feel Artron's pain. So imagine being sexually, mentally, and emotionally abused. And then on top of that, being able to feel your twin brother being sexually abused. Artron was sexually abused since he was like 5 or 6 years old. So Styxx was able to feel all of that, phantom pains, but he felt what his brother felt. It was really, really awful. So anyway, he won wars. He tried to live up to his father's expectations in the book. Styxx tried to live up to the king's expectation. He won wars. He was being harassed by Apollo, which is Artemis' brother, and Apollo was just ruthless. Like, Apollo took, what do you call it? Fantasy with Styxx. Apparently, the lady who touched Artron, the goddess who touched Artron to make him lusted after and people uncontrollably want them, also affected Styxx. Or I think she touched Styxx too, I can't remember. But basically, like, it was the same thing. People just wanted these little boys and they couldn't control themselves because they were touched. And so Styxx's uncle sexually abused him when he was a teenager, and Styxx tried to go get Artron a few times out of his uncle's care once he found out basically that my brother was with you the whole time and you did this to me. I know what you're doing, could potentially be doing to him. So he tried to go get his brother, didn't turn out right. The uncle drugged him and sold him to people, and that made him very embarrassed because, one, he didn't remember anything, and then 2, you sold me to high-end people, or people of the court, let's call them people of the court, who would potentially see my face and know, like, hey, I had him. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna be the future king, what type of respect can you gain from a whole bunch of men raping you? Like, it was, well, hard R. But anyway, so he found Bethania, and she's a part of Artron's pantheon. But Apollo killed Artron, and by killing Artron, phantom pains, remember that, Styxx dies too. So Bethania, their romance comes in later, which I kind of don't like, but I mean, it is what it is. She spent majority of the book trying to explain like the horrors that Styxx like went through, but it didn't stop there. Like, once he met Bethania, he was supposed to run off with her and they lived this happily ever after life. But Apollo got free because Artron died. Styxx ended up dying too, but Bethania got frozen or killed because, let's go back to, Artron was hidden in this lady's belly so that he wouldn't die, but it ended up happening anyway. So basically, when that happened, Artemis brought Styxx back because she had to, because you can't bring one brother back without bringing the other brother back. And she left him on an island. Now, this man is heartbroken because, one, his girlfriend or wife that he was supposed to marry didn't come and meet him in the forest like she was supposed to so they could run away. And then 2, his brother died, so he died. Not knowing that his wife, future wife, was pregnant. So she never got a chance to tell him that. You know, it was just crazy. But anyway, Stryker, Okay, so Styxx is on the island. He's on the island for eons. One of Styx's allies goes to get Styxx off of the river, not the river, but goes to get Styxx off of. Okay, so he goes to get Styxx off of the island that he's stuck on, that Artemis put him on, and Styxx is like this dragon, demon king, whatever, lord of the demons. And they just plot and ploy to kill Artron, and they plot and ploy to kill and hard-art his wife, Tori, which Styxx didn't allow any of that to happen. So, like, even though he was put through everything and shunned, and his brother wasn't, like, the main reason for him being hurt, he still had his brother's back and didn't want to see any harm come to him or his wife. So, it was just those things. And then Artron repaid him by putting him on his cloud. You know how Olympus is like a big cloud in the sky, whatever, you know what I mean, like a different universe, a veil, whatever. So Artron has one for his Pantheon, and he put him up there with him, not knowing the whole time that Styx's wife and unborn child is in the basement. And wait, did they have the child? Yeah, she did. Apollonie ripped the baby out of Batanya's stomach before she froze her. So it was a whole lot of. They did meet up with her. Okay, long story short, Styxx and Batanya. Artron he finds out that Styxx is not a bad guy, and that his brother did go through things and was abused, same as he was. Potentially even worse than he was. And you know, he's just like so remorseful, and somehow Batanya gets unfrozen in like an all-out battle at the end, and they live happily ever after, y'all. It was really a good story. They even get to meet their unborn child. So, well, not unborn child, but the child that they never got to see because she was taken away from them. But it was a really good story all around. Like, I really love the Dark Hunter series. I think it was an awesome addition, and I think it was a really good backstory, or a really good addition to Artron's story, just to see how his other brother lived. Because for the longest time, y'all, reading all her books, I was like, dang, I cannot stand Styxx. He ain't, you know, he ain't nothing. But turns out this man was abused more than him. It's all about perception. It's all, and I guess that's kind of what she was diving into. You know, you can paint a picture of somebody, but until you know their story, you really can't make any judgments off of them. So it was really, 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 really good. I highly recommend you guys download it on Amazon from the Kindle store or whatever. Like, if you like, what do you call it? Ebooks. I don't really like reading ebooks. I have like the actual book. Let me show y'all real quick. I'm a page turner, so I have to get the book. Like, I will literally lose interest in a book that I'm reading online. So, I mean, you know, electronically or whatever. So, to each his own. So, go ahead and check it out. The book you seen me reading in the beginning, before you popped in on me like that, was Time on Time. It's Katira and Ren's story. Y'all, on Amazon, go ahead and just, you know, read the little description or whatever, see if you like it. But that's the book that I'm going to be reading next and discussing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to share with all of your book lovers, and like, comment, and subscribe. These are the type of videos that I plan on making a staple on my channel. I really, really love to read, and I really do feel like, you know, we could really get a little book club going here, type-ish. But, again, I hope you guys liked the video, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!